up, everybody? Welcome to episode 6 of Frosty Friday. I didn't do it last week, and I keep promising a re-makeup show, and so I have a playlist built and everything that I'm going to post later. And I tried 2 beers. Last week, one was the cherry double brown stout from Deep Ellum. I had mixed feelings about that, and then I tried the I can't even remember. It was the Northwest PA Pale Ale out of, I think it's New Belgium. I'll have to check it again, but so I had some mixed feelings about those, and then I built a playlist around it last week. So I'll post that soon. I totally promise. But this week we're actually I got this Noble Ray Steampunk right here, and then Odell's Brewing Company makes a Zard Alu, which is a sour. So if you're into sours, I'll have something on this one, and then on the playlist. Obviously you can hear now. It's kind of a diverse playlist this week. Kind of some, I guess not really. I guess sort of groundbreaking in their own right. With Elton John going with the Benny and the Jets. How can you not like Benny and the Jets? And especially because it was reused with What's Up, Joanna? And Probably Jake. It was totally reused with Mary J. Blige, which is classic. So so diving right in, let's go with the sour first. The Zard Alu. Pretty golden. It was very sour, but it actually has a smooth finish and doesn't have a bitter aftertaste. So I reached out to one of my resident beer experts, Sheldon, and kind of told him to kind of join. But this is he was legit with his rating of this beer. All on Untapped, it got pretty much a 4, average rating of a 4, which is pretty good for most beers. Because people on Untapped are very unforgiving when it comes to rating brews. So I think this is actually one of Odell's seasonals or limited releases. I can't remember. But if you're definitely into the bitter beers, not bitter, sour, like I've recently become, then this is actually a pretty decent one for you to try. If you've never tried sours, it's a very interesting flavor. I would encourage you to try them with an open mind. It doesn't look like this is, I'm trying to find on Odell's website actually where how often this is released, and I am not finding it, to be completely honest with you. Yeah, so anyway, I'll have that posted on the blog. But what does it say? It's an apricot sour. So it has like a golden color, and it says that apricots were known to be native of Persian territories. It's kind of like a delicacy, and so it's sour, light, playfully sour, light, and refreshing, and it's definitely not a heavy beer. So it's 6.8%. So it's not anything that'll get you like super wasted, obviously, but I think it goes down, especially with the upcoming spring, summer-ish weather that we're having in Texas. I don't know about everywhere else. I actually feel sorry for some of the places that are having crazy snow weather, 18 inches of snow one day, and then it's like 80 degrees for the weekend. So good luck with that. That's why I live in Texas. And then, like I was saying, the Spotify playlist was built this week. Just for some trendsetter, groundbreaker type artists. one song was actually just built on there just because I love Finch. And it's like, early 2000s screamo-ish type band. But some of their stuff was just like orchestral in a sense. And so it was really, it mixed kind of the screamo emo music, but it had like symphonic type elements, and then like some just beats going on in the background and stuff like that. So I was really drawn to Finch whenever they first came out, in that song "What It Is to Burn." They've had a few albums, but like this one has just been I can always go back to it and listen to it. So, and then going into Elton John, right? So on the playlist is Rocket Man. We just heard Benny and the Jets, and then Tiny Dancer, man. Like, this is even if you don't even really like Elton John, you recognize Benny and the Jets as far as that, like I said, the sample that Mary J. Blige used. And then Tiny Dancer is just you have to like the song or you're not really human, in my personal opinion, because Tiny Dancer is a great, well-written song, and it blew my mind when I found out that because with this whole atmosphere of ghostwriting and using writers as far as to write your music, it blew my mind, because back in the day you assumed like all these people were writing their own songs and stuff like that. I had no idea that like Elton John didn't write a lot of these songs, and like there were composers who wrote some of these songs, and that he just performed them. And I don't even think it matters because he's such a great performer and a great pianist. So yeah, I can't even hate on the man for that, because I would write songs for somebody else to perform, and I could just sit at the house and collect royalties. So yeah, I can't knock his hustle. Can't knock his hustle at all. But yeah. So yeah, I'm a fan of this Odell Brewing. I've had a few of their other brews, and they always brew some classic stuff. And if you weren't here last week, there was a brew that I had, or the week before, sorry, that had a crazy cork. So before this episode of Frosty Friday, I decided to QC the cork and get it off before I actually tried the brew, and it's perfect because I have these little, they're like $3 stoppers that are actually for wine bottles, but they totally work for bombers. But yeah, so I didn't want to look like a fool this week and have a cork give me so many fits, and then I almost got beat up by my short, small, but assertive wife for using her crafting scissors to try and open the bottle. So yeah, that happened. I got the bottle open and I was drinking cork pieces. But sometimes you just got to do what you got to do, and I did that. So that is what's up. And then yeah. So if you're going to be around tomorrow, I have a show at Intrinsic Brew House. Just to throw that shameless plug in there. From noon to 3, I will be slinging some tunes, and I will not mess up like last time where I got my food before 3 o'clock, because like I told the story, and if you missed it, I'm sorry, but they make really amazing nachos, and I was telling all these people in line, I was super pumped, super hyped, walking up to the counter like I'm about to get these nachos, and it didn't happen because they don't serve nachos until after 3. My set was over at 3, but I decided to be smart and proactive, and try and get my nachos at 2:30, which was I thought I was being smart and proactive, but it didn't work out like I wanted to. Then again, I think they kind of saved me because the nachos would have been soggy by the time I got home and ate them anyway, so it's all good. But yeah, so noon to 3, I'll have shirts. We're still waiting on the girl fits, correct me if I'm wrong, and then we have I was surprised as far as the we call them raglans. Yeah, as far as the raglans, so we have the classic color that we started with, but there's a few changes made to the design. So I got some new stuff coming, which I'm super pumped about. Just having that diversity, and thanks to the people who helped make that happen. You know who you are. So yeah. The next song that's gonna go with this Noble Ray steampunk, I think it totally fits perfectly, is this song, In Bloom by Nirvana. Frank's not here to hear his Nirvana shout out, but actually me and him were texting back and forth over this past week, kind of about how I wouldn't say Nirvana was necessarily underrated, but some people, as far as Kurt Cobain's writing, and he was the pioneer of like mumble grunge, like how they had that whole mumble rap phase thing. And so once you actually like read some of his lyrics and kind of put them in context, I wouldn't say necessarily that it's genius, but he was definitely more profound than some people thought, of Nirvana. They just thought he was this dumb grunge kid who threw stuff around, but he had interesting perspectives just on life. And so, like, this particular song, In Bloom, is just like always one of those get me pumped up songs, and I think that goes perfectly with steampunk. The brew, just because. Look at this can. Like, everything that Noble Ray's doing, by the way, look at this can. So if you haven't seen a Noble Ray can, they have them to where you can stack them on top of each other. And so they'll be like one 6-pack to where they're stacked like this. And then the bottom 6-pack actually has the bottom half of the can. And like, their merchandising people are great, and I absolutely love Noble Ray. They actually have some really great beers, and this one is definitely no exception. It's a steam lager, which I found out that there's a brewery that has a not necessarily a patent, but they coined the term steam beer, so they can't really call it a steam beer legally. So it's referred to as a California Common. I had no idea that such a thing existed. But yeah, so it's just an American style lager. Works better at warmer temperatures. It's a 5.6, I think 5.4% alcohol. So it's kind of a refreshing sort of beer. Again, it has low rankings on Untappd, but I totally am a fan of everything that Noble Ray's doing at this point. And so if Noble Ray would like to send me, some glasses, because this is just a standard little brew and Q glass that I'm drinking out of, they can feel free to send me some Noble Ray pint glasses, and I'll be okay with that. Or if you have some Boss Bitch left over, if you don't know what Boss Bitch is, it's a brew that they did for Jesse Fry out of Denton. Super awesome, talented songwriter out of Denton, and so they did a collaboration. But yeah, Boss Bitch it's definitely a solid beer. So if you're into just lagers, and then the darker beer, the Boss Bitch was the darker beer. So if you're into that, then Noble Ray is definitely a way to go. They also have how can you go wrong when they have a beer, like I posted it on Instagram story, but they have a beer that's BA is Mr. T on the A team. So they have a beer that's styled after BA from the A team, which, how can you go wrong with the A team? So yeah, there's that. But yeah, a good solid beer. A few other ones that they have. Yeah, even like the Noble Ray site, it says, "Are you over 21 full?" And it has a picture of Mr. T. Uh, so that's like super amazing. Another one that they have that I've tried but um, haven't tried on this show was Off the Leash. Off the Leash is a great. It's a red ale that they have. It's super amazing as well. Sex in a Canoe. Like, I mean, just some of the names on these are awesome. So whoever's doing their marketing is genius. Noble Cock Cherry Pie. It's a sour ale. So yeah, this is awesome. Like I said, whoever's doing Noble Ray's marketing, you guys are geniuses. Um, yeah, hold on. We're just gonna wait for the ad to stop on Spotify. Still going. Yeah, so if you are just joining, Zardaloo, the sour, can't see that because of the light, the sour apricot ale was, it's actually pretty awesome. Again, I'm in the sours. Sometimes the sour and the more bitter, the better. You get kind of burnt out with hoppy ish beers, and so it's nice to have um, sort of different styles as far as beers go. So yeah, this is just a golden um, sour brew. Looks like the commercial stopped. All right, so this is actually one of the songs that we talked about, me and Frank, about just lithium. I think it was just completely underrated. So the Spotify playlist is going to be up. On it right now is Finch, Elton John, which in my opinion is a really great songwriter, and so I'm definitely a fan of Elton John and anything that he's done, everything he's collaborated on. Just, I mean, the dude showed up on Soul Train, like these classic like Beatles glasses, and just had so much swag when performing. Sort of, I would say I would say he's sort of out of his element. I mean, Soul Train at the time was like classic, mainly black artists that were soulful, right? And so he came in on Soul Train and held his own, and so that's crazy. But yeah, so I want to actually go into sort of the local part of the playlist because there's so let's go into this song. All right, so this song is kind of weird in theory because it's by Flicker Stick. But it's called Chloroform, the One You Love. So if I could tell Flicker Stick anything, I would tell them that I would have probably not named this song that. Just because, yeah, our current landscape of things, and with the rape culture and stuff like that that's going on, and it's a sensitive subject. At the time that it came out, I guess it wasn't as prevalent as it is now. But yeah, so looking back on in retrospect, I sort of cognizant of how I name my songs, because it's kind of like anything with social media, because you never know how long those things are going to live on the web, right? So if you were to go back on this song and be like, oh yeah, I didn't really mean to chloroform them. Yeah, so it's a very interesting song. But when I discovered Flicker Stick, I was at Stephen F. Austin, and then there was a show called Bands on the Run, and I had no idea these guys were from Fort Worth. I honestly thought one of the guys was a jerk. But then I found out they were from close to where I grew up, and I was like, man, I guess I got to get behind these guys. And I actually started listening to what's up, Jason? What's up, Pops? I actually started listening to some of their music, and just like Flickerstick just put together some really, really amazing tunes. So it's kind of hard not to like them as a band. And then I proceeded to sort of see them around town. I saw them acoustic at a record store. Oh, hey, so what's up, man? Your phone's about to die. That's awesome. This sour is pretty legit. So if your phone doesn't die before you get that message, you should definitely try the Zard Alu out of Odell. It's a pretty solid beer. I talked to Frank about getting us together. He had some ideas as far as what we can do, so we just need to work that out. So hopefully you got that before your phone dies. Yeah, in the future we're gonna have guests on here, so it's gonna be pretty dope. And I'm looking forward to that. Some of it's gonna be pre-recorded, and the interview that got messed up because my MacBook is so old. We're gonna redo that because I actually have a program to where I can kind of pre-record some things and just throw it in here. So yeah, we're gonna do that over again. But yeah, Flickerstick, totally a solid band. Again, this album is an album that I can always go back to, and it's still timeless to me. It takes me back, but it also still holds its own. And then, I mean, this song, it's called Coke, and just the the chorus is, come on, I'd like to buy the world a Coke, and lie here naked with my girl. Just to me, that just means, just ultimate, just everybody should be happy and love and do all that. But they actually they had a lawsuit pending with Coke, so they had to change the word naked to taken. But it was very interesting to get that kind of attention, because I would say that people say all press is good press, but I don't know that was necessarily good press. Maybe it got them some more attention. Maybe it sold them some more. It was before licensing is as it is today with music, but maybe it got them some more press. I don't know, but I thought it was a classic line. And I'm glad I have the version that says naked versus where they had to change it to taken. So thank you for that, Flickerstick. Classic chloroforming the ones you love. But then also buying the world a Coke and waking up naked with your girl. I mean, how can you go wrong with that, right? So yeah, it looks like we only got like a few more minutes on here before I have to hop off. But again, this playlist is going to be on Spotify. The link's going to be posted on my blog on Quincy Forte Music. And then this is Frosty Friday episode 6. So thank you for those who've tuned in week in and week out for a little bit here and a little bit there. There's going to be more coming up every Friday. I'm trying to do it at 9:30 because that's after little man goes to bed. And if you're wondering why I talk so low and I'm not really excited about, I'm super excited. I just don't want to wake anybody else up and talk louder than this because I have this amazing microphone on me that can kind of capture some of my excitement without the volume. So yeah. But before we did get off of the live, I kind of wanted to segue into something that was kind of, it's kind of sort of serious, but it was really awesome to see how the community, the Dallas music scene, kind of banded together. I have 2 Edgewater songs on here, Eyes Wired Shut, which man, I forgot that these guys have been around for so long. Edgewater, if you don't know, they're a Dallas band that, they got signed in like 2001 or so, 98, 2001, something like that, something crazy like that. And they got Eyes Wired Shut on the Punisher soundtrack. which is, super huge. They have so a club that, I consider one, classic club in Dallas. You have to, I can't remember how many people you have to have at your show before you can get one of these plaques. But the Curtain Club, they have a plaque up at the Curtain Club. They've just done just crazy things in Dallas. And so one of the lead singer actually passed away recently. And so on Thursday, this past Thursday, what's today? The 17th. So that would have been the 16th. There was an Edgewater, memorial benefit type concert, which I saw the pictures from Ty Griffith. He's on Instagram. He's a friend of mine. How's it going, Carnes? Hey, I would say he's a friend. We totally we used to get into some live music ventures together. I used to see him all the time at shows. But yeah, he had posted some things, and then they revived the Edgewater band. They made an Instagram page for Edgewater. So it was just awesome to sort of see the Dallas music community just get together and honor what's up, Chrissy, and sort of honor this guy's memory in such a way that was like amazing. Like you had bands like Down Low who were, learning the songs and performing Edgewater songs. And man, to me, that's like, I would say that's definitely the ultimate tribute. Like if anything happens to me, I would, definitely, I would be flattered and smiling down if musicians got together and sort of played my memory, my music. So yeah, man, that's a way to celebrate life in the ultimate way, and something that dude loved doing. So odd story. When I was reading about the whole Edgewater formation and them getting signed and all things of that nature, I didn't realize the people that I know from this whole era had been around since I had first started even seeing music in Deep Ellum. So the first show, one of the first shows that I can ever remember seeing, it was at the Curtain Club, and I was new to performing. I didn't start playing guitar until 2000, honestly, and so it had to have been 2001. I had come back and was hanging out with some friends and just looking at checking out local bands and things of that nature. And man, I saw this band called 40%. I had no idea about performing on stage. I had only seen stage performances from large name acts. But man, when I saw 40% performing, it just took it to a whole completely new level. So much energy. The music was raw. And then the lead singer had so much charisma. So fast forward to me coming back from SFA, playing music, doing Chasing February for a little bit, and then stopping music for a little bit, and then getting back into it. It was crazy how that was really crazy. The little stopper popped up. Yeah, so Carnes' show's going awesome, by the way. But yeah, I was playing at it's a pool hall on Coit. I can't remember the name of it, but just open mic, and it was a place where nobody was really. People weren't really paying attention to what we're doing. They were just there shooting pool, and we just happened to be doing open mic and hanging out as musicians. And that's where I met Micah Creel through a friend of mine, Jeff. And once I started hanging out with him and Jeff, and then another buddy, Justin, I just kept coming back, and it was kind of a cool thing. But I had no idea that Micah was a part of Edgewater, or else I would have fanboyed completely the fuck out. and I didn't. But yeah, I completely may have fanboyed out had I known. But I mean, it was kind of cool just to meet somebody and them just have a genuine personality, right? And just a genuine love and appreciation, and completely humble. The dude's completely humble, but just a genuine appreciation for music. And yeah, so he formed the Commotion. And again, I still, like, up until this point, I had no idea about the whole Edgewater thing. I didn't find out about Edgewater and his association until like years later, after he had, I'd stopped playing some open mic nights and I kind of just chilled out on music for a little bit. It totally blew my mind when I found out. And then I found out that one of the guitar players, actually just tonight, I just found this out, that one of the guitar players from the Commotion was in the 40% band. And Shorty, I had no idea that Shorty was in 40%, or else I would fanboy out on him too. And I mean, if Shorty ever watches this, I don't think he'll even know the Curtain Club show that I'm talking about. But man, it completely changed my life and my understanding of how performances and live shows should go. So that, yeah, that's my whole local scene and how Edgewater ties into me, and then the flicker stick thing. But yeah, so thanks for tuning in, everybody who's here. Hopefully you tune in next week. I'll try and get better about posting what beers I'm trying throughout the week, and so we can actually build the playlist earlier. How about that? And be prepared. Yeah, yeah, it's an issue. But yeah, so thanks for tuning in. Tune in next Friday at 9:30, barring my son goes to sleep when he's supposed to go to sleep. And yeah, we'll have, different beers. I already have beers lined up, so that's amazing. I'm somewhat prepared. There's no cork, which is like doubly prepared because this week the cork did not give me fits. And yeah, I'll be at Intrinsic Smokehouse and Brewery in downtown Garland from noon to 3 on the 18th, tomorrow of March. They have really amazing barbecue. I'm waiting till 3 to get the nachos. The nachos are going to be a continuing story until I get them again. But yeah, so it's been fun. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. Hopefully you listen to Edgewater, you like them. You listen to Flicker Stick and you're not offended by chloroforming the ones you love. And yeah, I mean, how can you go wrong with Elton John? So this playlist should be pretty awesome, as far as, in my opinion. If you feel that there's something missing, something I need to add, just let me know. And so on that note, we're going to go out with What It Is to Burn. I told you it's super orchestral. It's amazing. If you missed it, Steampunk Ale, amazing cans, amazing guys. If you want to send me a Noble Ray drinking glass, because I just got this little brew and Q. It's a horrible name for an event because I can't even say it. Mug that's perfect. Zard Alu, apricot. So if you don't really like beer necessarily, but you like flavorful alcoholic drinks, I would say that that's definitely one of them. It's a sour, so it's a little sour, but I think sours are fun. I'm recently into sours and farmhouse ales. So yeah, I mean, I think the apricot hints it well. It's pretty light. It's not heavy. You can still eat chips and queso in Texas, and it won't affect you. But yeah, so appreciate you guys tuning in. See you guys next week. Later, Carnes by Chrissy. Thanks, Pops, for tuning in, and peace out, Jason.